Deuteronomy chapter 28. If you fully obey these commandments of Yah your God, the laws I am declaring to you today, Yah will transform you into the greatest nation in the world, black people. These are the blessings that will come upon you. Blessings in the city, blessings in the field. You will have many children and ample crops, large flocks and herds, blessings of fruit and bread, blessings when you come in, blessings when you go out. Yah will defeat your enemies before you. They will march out together against you, but scatter before you in 7 directions. Yah will bless you with good crops and healthy cattle, and prosper everything you do when you arrive in the land that Yah your God is giving you. He will change you into a holy people dedicated to himself. This he has promised to do if you will only obey him and walk in his ways. All the nations in the world shall see that you belong to Yah Almighty, and they will stand in awe. Yah will give you an abundance of good things in the land, just as he promised. Many children, many cattle, and abundant crops. He will open to you his wonderful treasury of rain in the heavens, to give you fine crops every season. He will bless everything you do, and you shall lend to many nations, but you shall not borrow from them. If you will only listen and obey the commandments of Yah your God that I am giving you today, he will make you the head and not the tail, and you shall always have the upper hand. But each of these blessings depend on your not turning aside in any way from the laws I have given you, and you must never worship other gods. If you won't listen to Yah your God and won't obey these laws I am giving you today, then all of these curses shall come upon you. We started following this, which took us away from our God. People. This guy, and this guy, and this guy. We started following those guys, which means that we stopped keeping the commandments of Yah our God and started worshiping other gods. This is the reason that black people are cursed. Curses in the city, curses in the fields, curses on your fruit and bread. We don't even have cities and fields because we're cursed. Curses of bearing wombs, curses upon your crops, curses upon the fertility of your cattle and flock, curses when you come in and curses when you go out. For Yah himself will send his personal curse upon you. You will be confused and a failure in everything you do, until at last you are destroyed because of the sin of forsaking him. He will send disease among you until you are destroyed from the face of the land you are about to enter and possess. He will send tuberculosis, fever, infections, plague, and war. He will blight your crops, covering them with mildew. All these devastations shall pursue you until you perish. The heavens above you will be as unyielding as bronze, and the earth beneath you will be as iron. The land will become as dry as dust for lack of rain, and dust storms shall destroy you. Yah will cause you to be defeated by your enemies. You will march out to battle gloriously, but flee before your enemies in utter confusion, and you will be tossed to and fro among all the nations of the earth. Your unalive bodies will be food to the birds and wild animals, and no one will be there to chase them away. He will send Egyptian boils, tumors, scurvy, and itch, for none of which they will have a remedy. We're going to jump down to verse 32. You will watch as your sons and daughters are taken away as slaves. Your heart will break for longing for them, but you will not be able to help them. A foreign nation you have not even heard of will eat the crops you have worked so hard to grow. You will always be oppressed and crushed, black people. You will go mad because of all of the tragedy you see going around you. Yah will cover you with boils from head to toe. He will exile you and the king you will choose to a nation to which neither you nor your ancestors gave a second thought. Jesus, Yahushua, is not in exile with us. And while in exile, you shall worship gods of wood and stone. These guys. The God that they're speaking about here. These are the gods that he's speaking about here. You will worship gods of wood and stone. You will become an object of horror. So don't ask yourself why there are so many Karens in the world. A proverb and a byword. This is why we're called Black, African American, Negro. Among all nations, for Yah will thrust you away. You will work hard, but reap little, for the locust will eat your crops. You will plant vineyards and care for them, but you won't eat the grapes or drink the wine, for worms will destroy the vines. Verse 41. Your sons and daughters will be snatched away from you as slaves. The locust shall destroy your trees and vines. Foreigners living among you shall become richer and richer, while you become poorer and poorer. They shall lend to you, not you lending to them. They shall be the head, and you shall be the tail. And all these curses shall pursue and overtake you until you are destroyed, all because you refuse to listen to Yah your God. These horrors shall befall you and your descendants as a warning. You will become slaves to your enemies because of your failure to praise Yah Almighty for all that he has given you. Yah will send your enemies against you, and you will be hungry, thirsty, and naked, and in want of everything. A yoke of iron shall be placed around your neck until you are destroyed. Yah will bring a distant nation against you, swooping down upon you like an eagle, a nation whose language you don't understand, a nation of fierce and angry men. Does hands up, don't shoot sound familiar? Who will have no mercy upon the young or the old. That is where we are right now in America. They will eat you out of house and home until your cattle and crops are gone. This is why we have to pay bills. Your grain, new wine, olive trees, calves, and lambs will disappear. This is why we don't have olive trees, wines, calves, and lambs. They have disappeared. The nation will lay siege to your cities and knock down your highest walls, the walls you will trust to protect you. You will even eat the flesh of your own sons and daughters in the terrible days of siege that lie ahead. The most tender-hearted man among you will be utterly callous towards his own brother and his beloved wife, and his children who are still alive. He will refuse to give them a share of the flesh he is devouring, the flesh of his own children, because he is starving in the midst of the siege of your cities. The most tender and delicate woman among you, the one who would not so much as touch her feet to the ground, will refuse to share her own beloved husband, son, and daughter. She will hide from them the afterbirth and the new baby she has born, so that she herself can eat them. So terrible will the hunger during the siege and the awful distress caused by your enemies at your gates. If you refuse to obey all of these laws written in this book, thus refusing reverence to the glorious and fearful name of Yah your God, then Yah will send perpetual plagues upon you and upon your children. He will bring upon you the disease of Egypt, America, the diseases that they're making here in America, COVID-19, monkeypox. He will bring upon you all the diseases of America that you feared so much, and they shall plague the land. And that is not all. Yah will bring upon you every sickness and plague there is, even those not mentioned in this book, until you are destroyed. There will be few of you left, though before you were as numerous as stars. All this, if you do not listen to Yah your God. Hallelujah. Praise Yah Almighty for the wonderful counselor for bringing forth righteousness.